Happy Sunday, everyone. Are we at war with Iran? Depends on who you ask. If you ask ChatGPT, yes. If you ask US Congress, no. If you ask me, maybe. It depends, which is my favorite answer. Hi, this is Lindy Kyzer with clearancejobs.com. Why does foreign policy matter? Well, I'm a latent international affairs major, so I do always get jazzed up by a good foreign policy conversation or discussion. But obviously, the news feeds are a Twitter with the news of the White House's announcement about airstrikes against Iran and what this could signal for potentially, again, more hostilities in Iran. Are we going to war with Iran? Worth noting, it's not a formal declaration of war. The last time we did that, though, actually was World War II. It's also not an authorization of force by Congress, so that's what some of the critics from this weekend are talking about. Congress did not authorize this use of force. This is also nothing new under the sun, however, because Trump, Obama, Biden all have a pattern of strikes like this. Libya, Yemen, Syria, where a formal declaration of war or sanctions by Congress have not been made. So Congress could step in. Congress obviously does have the purse strings around a lot of this stuff moving forward if the U.S. escalates or does more. Also, a lot of people are talking about, hey, this is crazy town going after Iran, but they also maybe forgot that in 2020, there were also, I think, missile strikes, I recall. Again, I should read the news before I do these updates. Missile strikes by Iran against some military facilities after the first Trump White House assassinated. What the heck was that guy's name? Soleimani. I know this. I'm smart. I forget sometimes. I remembered some Iranian guy got assassinated. I was halfway there. So again, we've poked at Iran. What does this signal for foreign policy moving forward? Nobody knows yet. So you can be an expert on the internet too, but what is this an escalation of foreign policy? I'm not sure. What it does signal, and what I want to say is clearancejobs.com, news of the demise of the defense industrial base are widely overrated. I've gotten a ton of pushback about why are we still hiring? Why are contractors still hiring? Does national security still need to employ people? What I do gather from this announcement, if you are in the national security career field, is just know we're going to need good intelligence. We're going to need good analysts. We're going to need good software and good solutions. So if we are taking acts like this, this is a strong defense posture. It is an aggressive defense posture. It is not an unprecedented defense posture. But it's definitely a sign that, certainly we had a lot of chatter that this administration was not going to get involved in other conflicts out there. This is showing a clear alignment with our ally Israel, I think, mostly pointing us in that camp and signaling whose side we stand on. I anticipate potentially a de-escalation from here. I'm not warmongering at this point, but we can all have different opinions on that. But my takeaway to you as someone who advocates for the national security workforce is my primary job. Yes, since I can't even remember Soleimani's name, it's good that I'm not here as your national security advisor. Again, the defense industry still needs good people. If you were in this job market, if you were recently laid off or you left federal government, again, it signals to me that there's going to be areas of opportunity. So continue to look for those, continue to search for the news that we have over at Clearance Jobs. And B, as I mentioned last week, I feel like it's a good reminder, be a wise consumer of news, right? There's a lot of kind of negative information you can spiral down. There's also a lot of useful information you can spiral down. Choose your path wisely. For a path that's always worth choosing, visit and follow us over at clearancejobs.com. And be sure to, I always forget to say this part, I can't even remember people's names, like and subscribe to this channel right here. We really appreciate all of you and what you do. Bye-bye.